So, Dad, what'd you think of Fred Warner's Mondo extension?
Okay, first of all credit to the 49ers for signing him, for having him part of the team for the next 5 years if things work out the way they're supposed to. And I want to also praise the Niners for making important signings. They signed Kittle, they signed Trent Williams, they signed Fred Warner. Now they didn't sign Buckner. That's really bad, but the others are wonderful, and it means that they're keeping their core intact. So
Right.
all praise to them for that. I mean, that's just great.
And they do have a very impressive core, right? It's Williams, Kittle, Warner, and Armstead. Those are the four. It should be Buckner instead of Armstead, but 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
Right. Look, Iggy, they're loaded. They have a really good team. They're loaded. Yeah. I want to say what I understood was it was $95 million for 5 years. But what I've learned with the NFL is those numbers are meaningless. In baseball, they're guaranteed contracts. So if someone got $95 million, he really got $95 million, as far as I understand it. But with football, you got to really read the subtext. My guess is he's got about half of that guaranteed.
Sort of. I mean, basically, he got 27.5 million guaranteed at signing, and there's an additional 12 and a half, 13 million guaranteed for injuries. But they're kind of different things. You know what I mean? So basically, he's got 27.5 guaranteed.
Yeah. So when you say 95 million, it's ridiculous. It's not what the contract really is. And what I want to say is, it's too bad that the football players have to live in a system like that.
Yeah.
I'm not very good on economics or history for that matter, but as I understand it, in baseball, they have a very strong union, and they really, really can advocate for the players and get better contracts. For whatever reason, football players, and you think of them as so tough, have a wishy-washy union compared to baseball. And they, as a result, a great player like Warner, it's not what it sounds like. And I, in this regard, I'm all in with the players, and I don't feel bad for Warner. He just got a lot of money, and he could make $95 million. Iggy, I don't think he ever will.
I probably won't. Technically, he's the highest paid linebacker of all time. The market is changing, though. The quarterbacks are starting to change it. Kirk Cousins has been signing nothing but fully guaranteed contracts the last 3 years with Minnesota. And it seems like that's one way you can go about it. But you have to be a quarterback who's really good, who's commanding $30-40 million a year. Linebackers aren't quite there yet. Maybe one day. But it seems like the logic that they use in the NFL is, well, these guys get hurt, and you can't have these teams stuck paying players who are hurt. I don't know. Maybe they should update that.
Well, I understand how the owners feel. I do understand that. They get hurt playing for these owners.
I have a solution. Honestly. Make the contracts guaranteed. It's the price of doing business. It's the owner's risk when you sign these guys. And 2, get rid of the salary cap. What the hell is the purpose of a salary cap, Dad?
The purpose is that smaller markets like Jacksonville can compete with bigger markets.
But Jacksonville doesn't compete anyway. They always suck. I say get rid of the salary cap or make it way higher and make these contracts guaranteed. Make it more like baseball. Although I know there is a pseudo salary cap in baseball now too.
Sounds good to me, Iggy. It sounds very good to me.
All right, let's move on. Let's get to the meat of our. Iggy, let's talk.
I got one more question. Mm-hmm. We're going to go through the whole team. I know you've talked about this on other broadcasts yesterday and today. Very quickly, tell us, why is it so important that they re-signed Warner and for 5 years? Why is that so important?
Well, let's start. He's the best linebacker in the league. He's excellent at stopping the run, which usually is a linebacker's number one job, but not really anymore. It's a passing league, and every player on defense either has to be a great pass rusher or great in coverage. And Warner's the best coverage linebacker in the league. He's 6'3". He played basically nickelback in college. He was a DB in college at BYU. He's put on a ton of muscle, and now he plays middle linebacker at 240 pounds, but he still runs like he's 215. He can cover tight ends, wide receivers, whomever, and he's the best at that. Then there's all the intangible stuff. He's the leader of the defense. He's taken ownership of this team in ways that no one has since Joe Staley and Frank Gore, and he's 24 years old. He's the brains of the defense. He's basically like a coordinator on the field. He's smarter than probably most quarterbacks in the NFL. Yeah, and he's never missed a game. I mean, he's everything you want from a football player.